Hey guys, Harsh here, back in the video. So for this particular review, I am actually a bit late, but I couldn't find this model anywhere in India, so I had to import it from a different country. So this is the Mini GT model number 489, the Lotus 78 number 5 from the 1997 Formula 1 season. And as you can see, this is a super old Formula 1 car with the black and gold livery. Some might say it kind of looks like the Rich Energy Haas F1 team car as well, which I think would sit perfectly with it. But still, this is a very nice and old model to have. I actually also got the new Tyrrell car as well, the 6-wheel version, and the new versions come with the helmet inside. This one, as you can see, does not have the helmet or the driver inside it. One of the guess maybe is because it is a presentation car, so that's why there is no driver inside. But still, it is a very nice model to have if you are a Formula 1 fan. So as you can see, I have unboxed it. So now let's take a closer look at it. Now this is like quite different from the current Formula 1 car. You can see the lack of sponsors all the way around the body, but the basic idea of the car is quite similar to the present one as well. You get the front wing, you have the side pod area, or whatever you like to call it, engine at the back almost, and then you have this giant spoiler without the DRS. But in this case, I think you get two exhaust system and a very nicely detailed engine, because back then everything was exposed, I guess. So this is a V8 engine by the looks of it. Formula 1 like keeps changing the engine regulations, so sometime it is V12, sometime it is V10, and right now it is V6 hybrid. So whatever the case may be, I think the V10 engine sounded the best for me. So starting with the front, you can see we have the Goodyear logo right at the nose. You can see it is quite small, but it is actually very easily readable. On the sides also, you can see we have the Goodyear logo. On the top of the front wing, we have this logo which I cannot actually pronounce, so I will just leave it at that. And then we have this sort of vent over here, which I'm not sure what this is for. Maybe like to cool the legs of the driver or something like that, which is quite strange. And then we have the number 5 for the driver itself, and then we have John Player Special logo up top along with the British flag. And the John Player is the main sponsor of this car, I believe, so that's why it has this black and gold livery on it. The suspension is quite different from current Formula 1 car. You can see how different they are in terms of like the suspension and the track rods going all the way, but the basic idea remains the same. You can see the track rod connecting the wheels together is painted black so that it is somewhat hidden, but it is quite clearly visible. You can see if you look at it from the front there. But I guess it is quite nice that they have gone to the length to make sure that it is not that much visible, and if you really take a closer look at it, then only you will be able to notice it. Other than that, I think they have done a quite solid job over here. The tires are quite slippery on this one. You can see how easily they get misaligned with their rims, so you just make sure not to lose them. And you can see the rims are also very nicely detailed. You can see how many bolts are there in this particular setup over here. The tire wall has the Goodyear logo on both the ends, as you can see. And in the earlier days, I think there was no sort of restriction on what tire to use. You can either use Goodyear or whatever your preferred choice was. And then in 2006, or was it in 2005 US Grand Prix, everything changed forever, I believe, because only like Pirelli cars or something like that were allowed to race, not the other tire brand. And since then, I think only Pirelli tires are allowed for the Formula 1 races. Now moving to the seating area, you can see it is a white seat. This time around, I think this has no sort of impression of the driver inside, because each seat in a Formula 1 car nowadays have a specific shape to fit the driver perfectly. And if you look at the steering wheel over here, it is a quite old steering wheel, so no buttons, screens, or any fancy gadgets you will get. It is just a normal steering wheel, nothing too special going on. And I think there was a gear shifter as well, but for this particular version, I don't think they were able to add it. Although you can see we have some dials on the dashboard, which is quite nice to see. Moving to the sides there, this is like completely new to me, so I'm not sure what am I looking at over here. You can see we have these two sort of like caps over here, which I am guessing are for the fuel, but I may be completely wrong, so just correct me if I am that. And then we have these sort of scoops over here, which I think takes the air from here and then scoops out just like this in this direction upwards. And up here, I think are the radiators for the engine itself, because in here fitting the radiator is quite tough, so you have to place it far away from the engine itself. On the side, you can see we have the number 5 again with the British flag and the Johnny Player Special logo up there. And then if you look at the bottom over here, you can see that the bottom side of this body is painted in this very nice silver color, which is I think the case in the original car as well. So quite nice to see that on a scale model. And you can see that the tires also has these sort of like cuts in them, which again I think is a old thing, because nowadays the tires are completely slick. So maybe these sort of ridges were added to add some extra grip or something like that. And if you look at the back tires, they are super beefy compared to the front one. You can see the size difference is quite huge, and also the thickness of those tires is also very drastic, as you can see. see. Now coming to the fun part, and this I think is by far one of the most detailed engines I have seen on a model car so far. You can see we have like individual pipes going through the engine itself. The suspension for the back side is also there, and if you look at the underneath, you can see how nicely detailed this exhaust system is over here, with like individual pipes coming out of the cylinders and then finally coming to these exhausts, which are black painted and have a hole inside it. So this I think is the most detailed exhaust that I have seen on a scale model by far. And you can see we have some sort of like ridges going on the inside there as well. So I think like putting this much effort on a car is like sort of pointless, but I am not complaining at all. I absolutely love this. And you can see I think it is a little bit of chipped away over here. So yeah, the paint is scraping off for some reason over here. I don't know why. So just watch out for this one as well. And finally, if you move to the back wing, you can see we have the Joint Play Special logo again there, and on the sides you can see we have the Goodyear logo again in black and gold finish. Not a lot of sponsors as compared to current Formula 1 cars, but still it is a very nice model to have if you are really into nostalgic feels. And one other thing I missed is the double engine intake. So you can see right where the driver's head is, on either side you get these two massive scoops that scoops the air for the engine intake and combustion, I guess, which is also very nicely detailed. So all in all, a very good model to have in your collection if you are a long time Formula 1 fan. So thanks for watching the video guys, hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you have any sort of doubts, comments or recommendation, you can comment down below. I will try to respond to them as soon as possible. So until then, I will catch you all in the next one.